Hey, welcome to another one of Chris's beer reviews. Proud owner of a winter of 2010 Canadian Olympics shirt because the Canadians kicked so much butt that year. Anyways, aside from that, I am super stoked to be introducing the Super Collider. This is a Flying Monkeys Brewery uh, brew, of course. And one thing that's really cool here is they kind of have this atom effect, you know, the kind of designs that they use for atoms. Um, Now this is huge. Okay, this is flipping huge. First things first, it's a 650 milliliter bottle at 10.5% ABV. Now, I'm a little bit happy about that, but then on the other hand, I was very curious as to what it was going to taste like when I was researching it, and it was advertised being a 12.4% ABV brew. So it's kind of weird how it got changed there. Um, we got our frilly top, and I can tell by moving it around that it's going to be great because there's probably a special cap underneath that I can. Oh, it's not special. Same old cap. It's probably got a special message underneath though. Now, I'm just going to read a couple things off the front here. Be ubiquitous. You, be ubiquitous. What is the speed of dark? The beer universe is expanding. Super Collider. Normal is weird. Reality, it's just your imagination entering a brew dimension when hops collide. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is that this is a double IPA. So this is going to be super hoppy. We got 160 IBUs. I would have thought that that was huge, considering the fact that your average brew has about 15 to 30 IBUs. But since I've seen my buddy Beeraholic's beer review on the Alpha Fornication Flying Monkey Brewery beer, world's hoppiest or world's highest IBU count beer in the world. I think it was 2,656 or 565, something like that, which is strange I even remembered that. It's only a little bit of a brief thing for me to read on the back here. I usually put it up on the description, but considering the insanity of this beer, I thought I'd fill you in. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you too is all those titles I was reading off the front for you are some of the random messages that you get underneath the caps. Yeah, here we go. The beer universe is expanding. Super Collider Double IPA is the antimatter and uninspired IPAs. Oh, sorry, is the antimatter to uninspired IPAs. Meddling with the limits of regular Ontario IPAs, the Flying Monkeys brewed a double that blows a black hole in the taste buds of our IPA lovers. Pulse fermented to 12.4% with a warp-driven 160 IBUs. Super Collider DIPA is scientific evidence. The beer universe is expanding. I love how it tells you to pry off the cap at the cap and open to there. But yeah, that's just to prove to you. It said pulse fermented to 12.4% ABV. I don't know what pulse fermented means, but it does say, oh, that's what happened. You can't tell, but I can touch this. And LCBO actually stuck the sticker on it because LCBO tested it. My buddy works there, and he told me that that's what happened. And lastly, but not leastly, I know you like that, we are entering a brew dimension, adamantly conducting experiments to prove the existence of the so-called hop particle. The meddling brewers at the Flying Monkeys have done it again. No one knew what would happen when the Super Collider reached its full fermenting capacity. Would a miniature black hole swallow Barrie, Ontario into blackness? I think not. Luckily, the universe was unharmed, but the discovery was monumental. There are no limits to the desires of Ontario craft beer disciples. There's a wonderful quote here by Oliver W. Homeboy Holmes. He's probably one of the guys at the brewery. Man's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never regains its original dimensions. Quite clever. You can go to flyingmonkeys.ca for the brewery. And this is kind of a little bit of a bonus on the video here. I don't think anybody was here for it. Let's put it to you this way. I used to be the man with the 6-pack. I used to be the man with the 8-pack because I was so freaking skinny that that's how it was, okay? Just to give you an example of what happens to somebody who drinks too much beer socially. I had the fastest metabolism out of anybody that I know. Check it out. That's all belly. There we go. I'm not even pushing it out. I look preggers, man. I look preggers. All right, to the beer. That's your cue to stop fast forwarding the video. All right, I'm going to be drinking it with my Baltica glass because it's probably the biggest glass I have. It looks bigger, but it's still your typical 500 milliliter pint glass. Let's see what this says. All right. Ooh, you know what? Most smoke I ever caught on film. All right, let's see if this had a special message. Your sole purpose in life might be to serve as a warning to others. Clever, clever. All right. Oh, that's the smell that I like. For those who love optical illusion, this smells just like that. Here goes. Now, beers with high IBUs tend to be like a brownish color, but a very dark brownish color, and that seems to be what we're getting here. Very, very good brew. It kind of looks like the dark Cascadian ale that they brew. We got a 2-finger head here. It's an off-white color. It's actually like a darker brownish, almost caramel-looking color. I love the bubbles in the head. We got a lot of small to medium bubbles here. Smells so good. It smells syrupy and malty and caramelized, just like the optical illusion. Again, I was talking about the color. It's almost a mahogany color. I know I've been using that color a lot lately. It's just kind of been a freak of nature, fluke. Very carbonated inside. Can't see it on the video, but that's the case. Definitely picking on lots of hops there. All right, let's go in for the taste. Wow. I forgot to mention that this was $8.95. Wow. This is really, really good. People who don't tend to like beer probably wouldn't like this taste. It tastes very, very IPA-ish. One thing that blows my mind, though, is they managed to create such a hoppy beer without it having that nasty, nasty-ass syrupy taste. It does not taste like a 10, what did they say? Like a 10.5% brew, but it does taste like it's higher in alcohol content. I'd probably say that it tastes more like it's around 7% ABV range. Yeah, so considering the fact that this is an IPA, I'm going to go and drink this right to the bottom because IPAs usually tend to get more syrupy down by the bottom, particularly double IPAs. This is proof that beers that are 10% don't have to taste like Crest or Fax. Don't even taste barley, but I bet you it's in there. Yeah, there's no ingredient section to this, probably because they're trying to hide what's going on. Just so you all know, it's brewed on 107 Dunlop Street, Barrie, Ontario, Canada. Earth, Milky Way, the universe, infinity. So if you want to go there, check it out. Now this is a beer that you'd want to drink slowly. I'm drinking it fast just for the sake of the review. But look at the head. The head is going to stay there for a very long time, which is a great sign of a good brew. Got magnificently playful lace around the top of the glass here. I could also anticipate the fact that this beer might actually stay cold for longer than most beers, because it's the same temperature it was when I took it out of the refrigerator like 10 minutes and 25 seconds ago. But most importantly, the taste is staying the same throughout. A beer connoisseur would definitely appreciate this beer. I'm not surprised that this is a 160 IBUs. There's a lot more flavors going on in there that you usually pick up in an IPA. So many flavors that you can't really put your finger down on any of them. I definitely think that there's some fuggles going on in there, or fugel hops. Fortunately for us, Ontario people, Ontarians, the one thing that we get to take pride in is knowing that the Flying Monkeys Brewery is on our side. Sadly, I see lots of people out there that are reviewing a lot of amazing beers in the States, and there are so many different beers there that we can't drink, that we can't get in Canada here, that it's actually really sad. Another thing too, that I guess I'd like to say, is that what the hell was I going to say? Let me think about it. That's what I was going to say. At least there's one beer that we can say that we have that they probably aren't going to get for a long time until it starts getting big over there. Oh, and the other thing I was going to say, this was even more important, is that when I was growing up, the stereotype was that American beer was very light and that they loved Canadian beer. But the truth being is that beer has come so far in the past decade that the Americans are playing with alcohol contents all over the place, and we couldn't say that if we couldn't say that now if we even tried. Yeah, people, the taste is changing as I'm getting to the bottom, but it's not really a syrupy taste. It's more of like a malty, hoppy taste. You know what? The taste is starting to really change at the ending now, and it's actually starting to taste a little bit off of what I was enjoying. But I would buy this whole thing just so I could enjoy this much of it, and then put the rest of it in the sink, to be honest with you. Yeah, the ending's starting to get really strong. That's where all your alcohol is. I'm going to pace myself with this, people. I don't know if you can tell, but my face is getting all red and stuff. This was very amazing beer. Just about to roll up on 15 minutes here, and that's going to be my YouTube limit, so I'm just going to say it now. Fantastic concoction we have here. Amazing beer. Definitely go give it a try if you're a beer connoisseur, especially if you like IPAs, especially if you like double IPAs. This is probably the best double IPA I've ever had, and I'm saying that even on top of Southern Tier's double IPA. I'm talking about it's even better than the double Dead Guy Ale that I've had. It's definitely really good. It's definitely worth the price. So thanks for joining me on another one of Chris's beer reviews. Don't drink and drive, but drink responsibly. And by the way, if you have one of these, chances are you can't drive. Cheers.